She texted, "You're not funny, your jokes are cringe, and nobody laughs." I responded, "I've noticed." Then I stopped writing the spontaneous, witty comebacks for her social media that made her go viral. Her engagement dropped 90% in 2 weeks. Original post: I, 32 male, found out what my girlfriend really thinks about me through the most millennial way possible. She accidentally included me in a group text meant for her inner circle. Meredith, 29, and I have been together for 3 years. She's what you'd call an influencer. 127,000 followers on Instagram, 89,000 on TikTok, growing YouTube channel. Her whole brand is being this quick-witted, savage queen who always has the perfect comeback. Comment sections worship her for her natural humor. Here's the thing. I write about 80% of her content. Started innocent enough. She'd be filming something, someone would comment, and she'd look at me. Quick, what should I say back? I'd throw out something funny, she'd use it, boom, viral moment. Then it became, "Hey babe, someone said this in my DMs, what's a good roast?" Then morning brainstorming sessions where I'd essentially script her entire day's content. I'm a copywriter at an advertising agency. Comedy writing is literally part of my job. I didn't mind helping my girlfriend build her brand. Seeing her face light up when a post went viral made me happy. Plus, she was making decent money, $8 to $10 a month from sponsorships. Never asked for credit, never asked for money, just enjoyed being her secret weapon. Until last Tuesday. I'm at work when my phone buzzes. Group message from Meredith to her friends Bethany, Jenna, and me? Except she meant to add her other friend Brittany, not me. The thread was titled Emergency Cringe Management. Meredith, "Guys, Brian keeps trying to be funny at parties and I literally want to die. He told that stupid NASA joke again last night." The one about the space bar? Girl? Yes. He thinks he's hilarious, but his delivery is so bad. Like zero timing, it's actually painful. Wait, isn't he supposed to be funny? He works in advertising? He writes okay, but can't perform for shit. His jokes are cringe and nobody laughs. I have to fake laugh every time, and it's exhausting. But doesn't he help with your content? He suggests stuff sometimes, but I punch it up and make it actually funny. He's basically my unpaid intern, lol. The worst part is he thinks we're some comedy power couple. Meanwhile, I'm carrying us both. If he knew how unfunny he actually is. At least he's cute. Barely makes up for the second-hand embarrassment, Taba. I sat at my desk, staring at my phone. 3 years. 3 years of writing her zingers, her comebacks, her spontaneous observations that got millions of views. The NASA joke she mentioned, she posted my joke on her story last month. Got 50K likes. I could have confronted her, could have blown up. Instead, I replied to the group, "I've noticed." Then I turned off my phone and got back to work. The meltdown started within minutes. 23 calls by lunch. 64 texts ranging from, "Baby, let me explain," to, "You're being dramatic," to, "It's not what it looks like." When I finally turned my phone back on after work, her last text said, "We need to talk. Coming over tonight." "Your place is better for this conversation," I replied. She didn't know it yet, but she just posted her last piece of my content. Update 1, 3 days later. So Meredith showed up at my apartment that night in full damage control mode. Fresh manicure, that designer crop top I bought her for her birthday, trying to look extra cute. The manipulation was so transparent, I almost laughed. "Brian, baby, you completely misunderstood that conversation." "Really? Which part did I misunderstand? The part where I'm cringe? Or where you have to fake laugh at my jokes? Or where I'm your unpaid intern?" She tried to flip it. "I was just venting. Girls exaggerate when they vent. You know I love you." "You love my material," I corrected. "There's a difference." "That's not, I mean," she was floundering. "See, without me feeding her lines, Meredith's actually not great at improv. You're overreacting." So I said some stupid stuff to my friends. Everyone does that. "You're right," I said calmly. "Everyone vents, but not everyone takes credit for their partner's work while simultaneously trashing them." Her face changed. "Are you seriously trying to claim you write my content? That's insane." The audacity. The sheer audacity. "Meredith, would you like me to pull up our text history? The hundreds of messages where you asked me for comeback ideas? The voice memos of me workshopping your TikTok scripts? Those were collaborations. I always add my own spin. Your spin? You mean saying my words with your face? She switched tactics, tears appearing on cue. I can't believe you're being so cruel. After everything I've done for us, what exactly have you done for us? I include you in my life. My followers love you. Your followers don't even know I exist. You crop me out of photos. You've never once mentioned having a boyfriend. That's for privacy. No, that's for thirst traps. Can't have the simps knowing you're taken. She stood up, angry now. You know what? Fine. You think you're so funny and creative? Let's see how well you do without me. I'm the one with the platform. I'm the one people follow. You're nobody. You're absolutely right, I said. I'm nobody. Just a cringe, unfunny nobody who writes advertising copy for a living. She stormed out, slamming the door. 20 minutes later, she texted. When you're done with your tantrum, we can discuss this like adults. I didn't respond. Instead, I did something petty but necessary. I went through my Google Docs and made a backup of everything. Every script, every joke, every spontaneous comeback I'd written for her over the past 2 years. 4,847 pieces of content, all time-stamped, all in my account history. Then I cracked open a beer and waited. See, Meredith had 3 sponsored posts due that week. Brands don't care about your relationship drama. They care about engagement rates and deadlines. Without her unpaid intern, she was about to discover what her actual comedy skills were worth. Update 2, 1 week later. Y'all, the spiral has been glorious. First sponsored post was due Wednesday, some meal kit company. Meredith had to create naturally funny content about cooking. She posted this painfully scripted video where she tried to recreate our usual style. The jokes fell flat. The timing was off. She actually burned the food because she was so focused on trying to be witty. The comments were brutal. This feels forced. Are you feeling okay? This isn't your usual vibe. The old Meredith would never. Why is this giving corporate? Engagement rate 2.3%. Her average with my content was 12 to 15%. She texted me, please, I need help. Just this once. I didn't respond. Thursday she tried posting a comeback video to someone's comment. It was literally just, yeah, well, your mom. The secondhand embarrassment was real. Her followers started making memes about her having a stroke. By Friday, she was panic posting old content, trying to recycle jokes from months ago. Problem is, the internet doesn't forget. People started commenting, didn't you already post this? Recycling content now? Running out of material, bestie? The meal kit company contacted her about the subpar performance of the sponsored post. She begged for a redo. They agreed, but wanted to see the content first. That's when she made the fatal mistake. She went on Instagram Live trying to prove she could still be spontaneous and funny. Someone asked her about her writing process. She said, oh, I just come up with stuff naturally. It's all improv, baby. So I did something. Not proud of it, but... Actually, no, I'm totally proud of it. I created an anonymous Twitter account and posted a thread. Fun fact. Your favorite Savage Queen influencer has been taking credit for her boyfriend's writing for years. Here's proof. I included screenshots of her texts asking for joke ideas with timestamps, side-by-side comparisons of my drafts versus her posts, a particularly damning voice memo where she literally says, just write something funny for me to say, I can't think of anything. I didn't include her name or handle, just enough details that her followers could connect the dots. It took 6 hours to blow up. Update 3, 2 weeks later. The internet is undefeated when it comes to detective work. Within a day, Ghostwritergate was trending. Someone found my LinkedIn, I'm a copywriter, it wasn't hard, matched the timeline of our relationship to when her content got suddenly way funnier, and the dots connected themselves. Meredith went into full crisis mode, posted a 47-minute YouTube video called My Truth, where she admitted I helped sometimes with content, claimed it was a mutual creative partnership, said I was vengefully trying to destroy her career, cried for literally 23 minutes straight, claimed she was the victim of creative gaslighting. The comment section was not having it. So you admitted he wrote your content, but you're still the victim? Girl, just apologize and move on. The creative gaslighting is sending me. Imagine fumbling a funny king like this. Her follower count started hemorrhaging. Lost 30K on Instagram in 3 days. Sponsors started pulling out. The meal kit company demanded a refund for the failed campaign. Then her friends jumped in because of course they did. Bethany posted a story, when someone you trusted betrays your private conversations. Jenna made a TikTok about toxic ex-boyfriends who can't handle successful women, so I posted my own response. Just one tweet from my real account. I never asked for credit, never asked for payment, just wanted an apology for being called cringe by someone who built their career on my words. Instead, I'm somehow the villain. Cool. Attached one screenshot, her text saying he's basically my unpaid intern lol. That tweet got 2.8 million views. Plot twist. Comedy Central's social media manager slid into my DMs. They'd been watching the drama unfold and loved my writing. Offered me a freelance gig writing for their social channels. The pay? Triple what Meredith makes in a month. Accepted it immediately. Update 4, 3 weeks later. Meredith tried everything to salvage her career. First came the rebrand. Authentically Meredith, pivoting to lifestyle content. Tried doing morning routines, skincare videos, day-in-my-life vlogs. Without humor, she was just another pretty girl making coffee in aesthetic lighting. Her engagement tanked to below 1%. Then she tried the accountability route. Posted another video, what I learned from my mistakes. Admitted she should have credited me, but still maintained she enhanced my writing with her performance and comedic timing. The comments dragged her. Comedic timing? The bar is in hell. Enhanced equals read out loud? Girly, you literally just repeated what he wrote. Her sponsorships dried up completely. Brands don't touch controversy unless you're big enough to weather it. At 127K followers, now down to 73K, she wasn't. The friend group imploded too. Bethany accidentally let slip that Meredith had been trash-talking Jenna's boyfriend too. Jenna found out Meredith had been secretly pitching the same sponsors, undercutting her rates. The group chat got leaked by someone, wasn't me, swear, showing Meredith calling Bethany desperate and clingy. But the real kicker came yesterday. I was at a coffee shop working on some Comedy Central content when Meredith walked in with some guy. Didn't recognize him at first, turned out to be another influencer, Keith something, 200K followers. She was pitching him hard. I could write for you. I have experience with viral content. I know what works. This dude looked uncomfortable. Didn't you just have that whole controversy about not writing your own stuff? That was blown out of proportion. I wrote most of it. My ex just helped sometimes. Keith pulled out his phone, clearly checking something. His expression changed. Says here you admitted he wrote your content? I mean, we collaborated? I'm good, thanks. He left. She sat there for a minute, then saw me. Our eyes met. She looked exhausted, desperate, defeated. Started to walk over. I packed up and left, nothing left to say. Later that night, she posted on Instagram, taking a social media break to focus on my mental health and authentic self. Be back soon. The top comment, see you never bestie. Update 5, 1 month later. Meredith couldn't stay away. The mental health break lasted exactly 8 days. She came back with a Hail Mary, claimed she was starting a podcast called Behind the Influence, where she'd expose the dark truth about social media. First episode? My abusive ex used my platform against me. I kid you not. She tried to paint me as some mastermind who manipulated her into using my content, then vindictively destroyed her when she tried to break free. The problem? She forgot about the paper trail. Remember those 4,847 pieces of content I backed up? I also had Venmo requests from her for comedy consulting that she never paid, texts where she begged me to write content because she had nothing, voice memos of her literally saying, I don't care if it's plagiarism, just make me sound smart, screenshots where she made fun of other influencers for not writing their own content. I didn't even have to post them. Someone in her circle, probably Jenna, honestly, leaked our old group chat where Meredith admitted she couldn't write a joke if her life depended on it, and was riding Brian's creativity to the bank. The podcast got review bombed. Spotify removed it after 3 episodes for misleading content. She tried TikTok next, doing these weird motivational videos about rising from the ashes and Phoenix energy. The comments were savage. Phoenix energy equals deleting comments energy. Rise from the ashes of your own career, motivating us to credit our ghostwriters. Down to 41K followers on Instagram. Had to move back in with her parents because she couldn't afford her apartment. Started working at her dad's real estate office doing social media. Ironically, the engagement on their page tanked after she took over. Meanwhile, my Comedy Central gig led to more opportunities. Got hired to write for 2 Netflix comedy specials. Started my own Twitter account for comedy writing. Hit 100K followers in 2 weeks. The bio? I write my own material. But here's where it gets interesting. Last week I got a text from an unknown number. It was Meredith's mom, Eleanor. "Brian, I know you have no reason to help, but Meredith is struggling. She's depressed, barely leaving her room. Could you maybe just talk to her? She won't admit it, but she misses you." I thought about it for exactly 2 seconds. "Eleanor, your daughter built her career on my creativity while publicly humiliating me. She then tried to gaslight me and paint me as an abuser. I wish her no ill will, but I'm not responsible for fixing what she broke." Eleanor responded, "She was just insecure. You know how the internet is. The pressure got to her." The pressure to steal my work and call me cringe? She didn't mean those things. She meant them enough to type them out and send them to her friends. Then Eleanor tried guilt. She loved you. She just didn't know how to handle your talent overshadowing hers. The audacity runs in the family, apparently. Eleanor, she had no talent to overshadow. That was the whole problem. Have a good day. Blocked the number. Update 6 weeks later. The universe has a sense of humor. I was at a company party for Comedy Central when my boss pulled me aside. "There's someone here who wants to meet you. Says she knows your work." It was Astrid Carlson, head of development at a streaming service I won't name, but it rhymes with Shulu. She'd been following the whole saga. "I'll be honest," she said. "I initially sided with your ex, thought you were another bitter man trying to tear down a successful woman. Then I did a deep dive into your writing, comparing her content before and after you, night and day. You've got a genuine voice." She offered me a development deal. They want me to create a comedy series. The pitch: a bitter copywriter discovers his influencer girlfriend has been stealing his material. He gets revenge by becoming more successful than her. So, my life? Exactly. Write what you know, right? The money was insane. Like, quit your day job immediately insane. I signed that week. 3 days after the news broke about my development deal, Meredith tried one last desperate play. She made a TikTok from a new account since her main one was basically dead, claiming I stole the idea for the show from her. That she had been developing the exact same concept and I had access to her creative notes. The internet's response was swift and merciless. "Ma'am, it's his life story. The delusion is giving performance art. Girly really said, I'm gonna steal his story about me stealing from him. The lack of self-awareness is actually impressive." Someone found her creative notes, she mentioned. It was a Pinterest board called Boss Babe Aesthetic, with coffee cup photos and motivational quotes. She tried to get a lawyer involved. The lawyer dropped her after realizing she had no case and couldn't pay the retainer. Then came the rock bottom moment. She showed up at my apartment building at 2 a.m., drunk, crying, demanding to talk. Security called me down. "Brian, please, I'm sorry, I messed up, I need you." "You need my writing." "No, I need you, I love you." "Meredith, you publicly humiliated me. You called me cringe and unfunny while building your career on my humor. I was insecure, you're so talented, and I'm nothing without you. You're right, you are nothing without me, but that's not my problem anymore." She tried to lunge at me. Security intervened. I filed a restraining order the next morning. Her dad called me a week later, not to apologize for his daughter, but to ask if I'd write content for his real estate page since their engagement was suffering without Meredith's touch. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my phone. Her touch? You mean my writing? Well, whoever was doing it before. Will you consider it? Howard, your daughter publicly humiliated me, tried to destroy my career, and is now stalking me. No, I won't write your real estate posts. I'll pay you. With what? Meredith said you're broke. He hung up. Final update, 2 months later. The show got picked up for a full season. We start filming next month. The actress playing Melissa, totally not Meredith, nailed the audition by performing actual transcripts from our relationship. The network legal team cleared everything. Turns out you can't sue someone for dramatizing their own life experiences. Meredith found out through the trades. She posted one last desperate video, the exploitation of my story, a thread. Nobody cared. She got ratioed so hard she deleted it within an hour. Last I checked, she's down to 12K followers, most of them hate watchers. She's working full-time at her dad's office, running their social media into the ground. Their Yelp reviews now mention how cringe and unfunny their posts are. Poetic. Bethany reached out last week trying to be friendly. "Hey stranger, congrats on the show. Always knew you were talented. Coffee sometime?" I left her on red. Jenna started following me, liking all my tweets. DM'd me. "For what it's worth, I never agreed with what Meredith said about you." I checked. She literally commented, "deceased" on the original group text. Blocked. The best part? Comedy Central hired me full-time as head of digital content. My team of writers? All credited. All paid fairly. All treated with respect. Revolutionary concept, apparently. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. Last week, I was at a writers' panel discussing the show. Someone asked about inspiration. I told the story, and afterwards, this woman approached me. "I'm Dana. I run a support group for people who've had their creative work stolen by partners. You'd be surprised how common this is." She showed me her website. Hundreds of stories. Writers, artists, musicians, all whose partners took credit for their work. Meredith wasn't unique. She was just the one who got caught. I've started volunteering with the group, helping people document their work and protect their intellectual property. Turns out my story inspired dozens of people to stand up to their creative vampires. Meredith, meanwhile, tried to start an OnlyFans. Even that flopped. Turns out people only wanted her for her personality, and without my words, she didn't have one. Someone sent me a screenshot last week. She was in the comments of another influencer's post, writing "first" and "so true bestie," like every other engagement bot. Circle. Do I feel bad? Sometimes late at night, I remember the good times. The woman I fell in love with before the followers got to her head. But then I remember her laughing with her friends about how cringe I was while counting the money my creativity earned her. The show airs next fall. The title? Unpaid Intern. She's going to hate it. And for the first time in 3 years, I genuinely don't care what Meredith thinks, because I'm too busy laughing at my own jokes, with my own voice, getting my own credit. Turns out I'm pretty funny after all. Edit. Since everyone's asking, no, we never shared finances or accounts. She tried to get me to add her to my credit cards for emergencies, but I always declined. Best decision I ever made. Edit 2. The NASA spacebar joke? I told NASA I wanted to be an astronaut, but they said I needed more space. Bar experience. She got 50K likes on that. It wasn't even my best work. Edit 3. To the people DMing saying I destroyed a woman's career. She destroyed her own career by taking credit for work that wasn't hers. I just stopped enabling it.